Right, let's start with Arsenal. Mikel Arteta says he wants to make them the best team in the world. He was speaking at the launch day of the new Premier League season. Our football correspondent Rob Dorset grilled him and joins us now. Rob, very good evening. Right, he wants them to be the best in the world. So does that mean more players in before the end of the window?
Not necessarily, Mike. I think that's the sense I got from Mikel Arteta this afternoon. It's pretty clear that Arsenal are still looking. It's pretty clear that they've still got money to spend. But having brought in Bruno Guimaraes already, Christos Solis from Club Brugge, Piero Hincapié, of course, he was on loan last season. He's now permanent. And Elan Meslier as well in the goalkeeper department. Mikel Arteta said to me pretty clearly that he feels the squad he's got now is stronger than the one that he had that won the Premier League last season. And so they're not desperate to sign new players, but it's very, very clear they are still looking. And the point that I would make is twofold. Firstly, I think Arsenal have entered a new elite phase of their recruitment process. They have a team that's proved it's already capable of beating the rest in England. So they're only going to go for players who are the world's elite. You know, they were linked with Vinicius Jr., weren't they? They've been a long-time admirer of Julian Alvarez. It's those sorts of players, that calibre of player, that I think appeals to Arsenal right now. No point in bringing in incredibly good players who are no better than the players you've already got. That's the first point I would make. The second point is, as the reigning Premier League champions and as a team that was runner-up in the Champions League final, I think it's easier for them to attract the world's best right now. So have a listen to the Arsenal manager right now, Mikel Arteta, who said to me they haven't finished doing their business yet if the right player becomes available.
Well, certainly the ambition of the club, of the owners, is to be the best club in the world. And in order to do that, you need the best facilities, the best stadium, the best supporters, you need the best squad and the best players in the world. And those are the ones that win you football matches and the ones that can be decisive when it matters. And that's what we try to build with the actual players that we have. And it is the players that we want to sign to make the difference for Arsenal.
Well, Rob, he also spoke to Arteta's boss, the chief exec, Richard Garlick. Did he give any indication that they'll do more business?
It's a pretty rare interview we got with Arsenal's chief executive. He doesn't speak to the media very often, but when he does, he's very, very good and very open, I think you have to say. And he made it clear there is money to spend if Arteta and the Arsenal recruitment department believe the right target is out there. And again, he talked a lot about the commercial expansion of Arsenal and how they want to become a super club, how they want to be able to compete with the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City and Liverpool, who are still outstripping Arsenal at the moment in terms of their commercial activities. Nevertheless, Arsenal had record revenues last season of £691 million. Expect that figure to increase maybe by 15% off the back of the incredible season they had last season. So money isn't actually the problem for Arsenal going forward in trying to attract the right players. But have a listen to Richard Garlick, because he makes it very, very clear that, like his manager, he thinks they're fishing in a more elite pond right now, trying to get big names to come to the Emirates.
He says he wants his team to be the best in the world. So to do that, where does he need to strengthen, James?
Well, I think the left-hand side, the left wing, is that area where they have been looking for years and years to find the right answer, because unfortunately Gabriel Martinelli hasn't stepped up at the level that I think many thought he would 3 or 4 years ago. He was Arsenal's top scorer. He got 15 goals in one Premier League season, the first season where they came really close to challenging Manchester City. But he's not quite been at that level, perhaps, and that is why there were the links with Vinicius Jr. It's why Arsenal did try to explore that deal before he committed to Real Madrid. So that is one area of the pitch. Clearly, if they are to become one of the best sides in the world and a side that everybody loves, maybe they need to progress their game a little bit more. Last season, we saw Victor Gyökeres was their top scorer. He got 14 in the Premier League, but it still didn't feel like he had a great season. Then going down that list, Bukayo Saka and Ezri got 7 goals each. So clearly, they want to try and be a more progressive side this season, you'd think. Now they've got the monkey off their back and they've won the Premier League. They want to go very close in the Champions League as well. And in defence right now, they are looking for cover and players that can come in and make a difference. And one thing Arsenal have done over the course of the last few years is they've strengthened whilst they're strong. It felt like in Aaron Ramsdale they had a perfectly capable goalkeeper. Mikel Arteta didn't think so, brought in David Raya. And we've seen in the last few transfer windows, they've always felt like they had enough centre-backs, but they've gone on and got the best centre-backs in the world and increased that pool of talent, strengthening while they're strong. And that's what they want to do in this transfer window to ensure they don't stand still.
A lot of reports out today that Arsenal are set to finally make their move for Ezri Konsa. There's been a lot of talk about this deal over the last 6 weeks. You know, £30 million thing turned down. Villa want 60 million. But if you check it out, there's not really been any formal talks, formal offers. It's just been all lots of stuff behind the scenes. And we know that Arsenal kind of do operate like this. But according to Football Insider, they are claiming that Arsenal are set to formally launch their proposal this week to Aston Villa to sign Ezri Konsa. As I said, we've been previously told that, you know, behind the scenes there was sort of a, you know, we'll give you 30 million, and Villa were like, no, we want 60 million. That's what we're holding out for. But it hasn't really moved because the player was away at the World Cup. He's come back, just like we've seen the English players that, you know, played at the World Cup with Arsenal, Rice and Saka. They've only just sort of come back into the team. It's the same situation now with Konsa. Arsenal now want to get a move on and get this deal done. The league starts on Friday. Obviously, he won't be in time for that, but they want to get him in time for, you know, the window, as I said, shuts on the 1st of September. So, you know, the next game following that is on the 31st of August. So can Arsenal get this deal done this week? But as I said, they're saying, Football Insider, that Arsenal are set to make their move this week to try and get Ezri Konsa. Let's wait and see what happens. What about Bradley Barcola? We know we need a left winger. We haven't brought in a left winger yet. Well, Christos Solis. He's been in since for so long, we're forgetting, and he's been looking really good. But if Martinelli goes, we need another left winger. Liverpool have been the favourites to sign Bradley Barcola throughout the transfer window. Barcola wasn't in PSG's squad at the weekend for their Super Cup defeat against Lens. Now, we're being told that Liverpool are the absolute favourites to sign him, but could Arsenal be plotting a hijack for Barcola? There was lots of rumours flying around last night that he prefers, excuse me, to move to Arsenal. We've heard this before, that he would rather live in London and all this sort of stuff. At the moment, Liverpool are in pole position, but L'Equipe, the publication over there in France, are claiming that another English club could make a move to sign Barcola. And that club, we all seem to know, looks like it's Arsenal. PSG also said to be willing to drop their price a bit. Now, they've been asking for this crazy £140 million fee. They're not going to get that. We're also hearing reports that they'd accept something closer to the £100 million mark, you know, probably like 105, 110 maybe.